Conversation explores the breast cancer journey from a husband's perspective. Now, through the eyes of Mr. Diowuso-Agyeman, a man who spent 10 years walking side by side with his wife as she battled breast cancer until her passing. Often, cancer conversations highlight the experiences of patients, but rarely do we delve into the emotional, psychological, and practical toll it takes on a loved ones, who are the silent supporters. Mr. Diowuso-Agyeman joins us today with the story, one of unwavering love, faith, sacrifice, and resilience. Mr. Agyeman, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. I'm taking a deep breath now because I was speaking to you before the cameras came on, and I was saying that I saw a reel on Instagram yesterday, and the reel said that widows actually do better than widowers, because women often have a lot of loved ones. Sometimes they have their friends, their best friends, their families who are with them. But when you're a man and you lose your partner, your loved one, it's more difficult dealing with it than a woman would. But that's not to underplay it. Let's go to the beginning. When you discovered, you and your wife, your ex-wife, discovered that she had breast cancer. What were you doing, and how did you take the news?
Thank you, young man.
God went.
God, I know. The issue is I'm a media practitioner, and at the time, I had an assignment to produce a documentary for Social Investment Fund. The fund, a government agency, they had set up a clinic in Okomfo-Anokye teaching hospital, where for the onco cases, to take care of the northern side of Ghana, because it looks as if all the cancer things were being brought to Accra. So within the documentary, I had to interview the doctors about, their work and everything, breast cancer. So one doctor took time. She spent about an hour, because me, I was going there with a pack of questions to explain to me how the manifestation of breast cancer on a woman. Some of them are not painful. Some of them are not can begin from the armpit. Some are painful, and they give you kind of a sore nipple. She gave me all that. And that also, the most dangerous, he said, it lies on a line aligned to the nipple to the top. He said the most dangerous. And they tend not to be painful. That's, I can remember everything, because, and I came back and I was editing it. I used to edit at night. I sleep early, get up and edit till the children wake up, And this morning, unusually, my late wife didn't have her nightie on. She had put some cloth around her, So I had been watching these videos and editing and things. And so when I came out to see her preparing the kids to go to school, after they left, I asked her, I saw this. I said, "Sweetheart, what's this?" He said, "Some 3-4 months ago, I just saw this, but it's not painful." You see, the bells were ringing. It's not painful. And the way it was lying to, so I said, okay, then we have to, take it. So we went to Kolebu. Kolebu at that time used to have a Tuesday kind of breast cancer session where women were invited to come and have their breast examined. Unfortunately, that very Tuesday that we went, it didn't happen. So we went to the polyclinic where a doctor of mine, in fact, she was a schoolmate of mine, gave her some powerful antibiotics, saying that if about 2 weeks of taking it, nothing happens, then we must go to the surgery block for a biopsy. So we did. So your question, finding it, she had seen, but she didn't. It wasn't painful. So but I, through the work I was doing, found out that this is not something I can
Just
brush.
look over.
Yes, and I did not panic or anything. I just took cool so that we go and have a look, and we did. And when they did the biopsy, found out that it was live. We went to. They have a special clinic in Kolebu. They have two clinics. One that does that. This onco cases. One is Kolebu. The other, I think, is run by the World Bank. The WHO. Sorry. And so we went to that one, and after examination, they said she will have to take 8 chemotherapy jabs because they claim that the lump has grown deep, it didn't come out. So it was big, 3.5 inches diameter. And so if they want to do any surgery, it may go too close to her heart. She may not make it. So they had to give her chemotherapy to shrink it. This is the information. And I am a very inquisitorial person. I ask questions. I had several chats with the doctors, and they told me all the ins and outs of it. Excuse me. That cancer is the reason why people are afraid of it is that there's no technology that can identify the good from the bad cells. So chemotherapy just sweeps, it disrupts everything, and hopefully after they've cleared it, if you eat well, you live well, you may get back some of your. So I took it very seriously, and before that, see, I always do. I have a relationship with my wife. We must be friends. That's my style, There's this thing about everybody says men men cheat. Not this man. Me, I'm a one-woman's man.
Impressive.
I'm not saying I've been an angel all the time. I'm a musician, so before my days, before I got married, I also,
Yeah, you had your own time.
Oh yeah. My contemporaries are Pat Thomas, Ambule. I mean, I played with them with the same band. Yes. So
You've seen life, basically.
I've seen life, and so I when I say I'm getting married, it is 101%.
Beautiful.
Anyway, so we started the chemotherapy, and I tell you, the first jab is a drip that they put on you, and for the whole drip to sink into your body, the first 3-4 weeks, she was bananas. I had her hair fell off, and I had to do everything for her and the kids in the house, because it is so devastating. And she was going to have 8 of this. The two of us, we were very prayerful anyway. So we prayed about it several times, and one day we went to church with her, and she normally doesn't even come to church with me, but on that day she said she'll come. And we went to Tema to visit a friend who had lost her husband a year or 2 ago. We hadn't seen her, so we went, and fortunately she was there. She said, "Oh yeah, thank you, I've come." I went to the US, and I was diagnosed with cervical cancer, and even they gave me a medical MOU to bring to Kolebu. That MOU says she was coming to die, but God saved her because she met a certain doctor, a Canadian-trained Ghanaian doctor, who is a doctor of pharmacy, all right? He has looked after her and prepared a patient-specific panacea for her. So even though she was supposed to have died through that doctor's preparation, so we didn't say anything. So could you show us this doctor? So she gave us his number, and we contacted him, When you see him, the doctor said, go and bring all your lab tests. You know, all your lab. See, me, there's no way I was not leaving any stone unturned. My closest friend, my partner, the mother of our children, hey. So we went to see this doctor, and he said, it is not so good, but we'll fight it. You know, and you see, words are codes. To me, words are codes, which if somebody tells you a good news, it does something to your spirit, you know. So when she said that, but we will fight it, it clicked something in me, clicked on something in her. And so she said, we took all our lab tests, and he studied them. And we asked him question, may I ask questions? He said, look, lab technicians do their work, but you see, the training is at a certain level. But he's a research fellow, so they can see more in the results than, you know. So he prepared this patient-specific, he calls a formula for my wife. And I mean, of course, he sent the ingredients to Canada, and within a couple of weeks it came. And you must know, it's not small trouble. Yeah, I mean, so as my wife was going for her second chemo jab, the medicine came, and she started taking it. She has taken it for 2 to 3 weeks, and before he went for the second. After that, when we were supposed to go for the third one, Kolobu said we should go and do another mammogram because they can't see certain things well. So we went to Senate Hospital, did a second mammogram, and took it back, and they couldn't see that 3.5 diameter this lump. After taking this medicine for 3 to 4 weeks, and we didn't tell anyone we were taking anything else apart from the medicine they give. So she was supposed to go for a third jab, and the doctors were not quite clear. So they invited other specialists to come in. And one thing is that anytime we went to the onco clinic, you go and see a lot of women there. And when they invite her, I'll go into the consulting room with her. And the doctors there will say, oh, Mr. Agyeman, this is women's thing, so, you know, if you like, you know. And I also plead with them that, look, she's my wife. Whatever you tell her, she'll come home and tell me. So whilst I'm here, I might as well hear it first time from the horse's own mouth. In fact, they tried for more than 2 months. They couldn't shift me, so they gave up. Now this guy, you know. So they look at this, called their top onco doctor. There's one professor, I can't remember his name. He came, and I was sitting down. He went behind the curtain, examining the thing, examining my wife, and I heard him ask, "Are you sure you are you are looking at the right patient? Because I can't see anything on this film." And they said, yes. I said, which breast? He said, the left one. The man came out and said, look, I don't think, you know, there's nothing here. Meanwhile, the surgeon who was supposed to operate on her also surfaced because, you know, he wanted to know at where it has reached so that if he can operate, because he was supposed to go for a short course, you know. And then we all sat down there, and 3 doctors have come to see that they can't see any lump. And so I spoke to the doctor, one doctor, Craig Lamptey, top, very nice gentleman. And he explained to me that surgeons have a certain code of practice. They only remove what is abnormal. in the area, because cells which are abnormal manifest in a different way. So I asked them, sir, we heard your prof say that, this doctor say that they can't see anything. So what are you going to remove? He says, it's a problem, but I should give him some time. He'll call me. So a couple of days later, he calls me to say that they've had a meeting about it. It's worrying that nobody has done 2 chemos to reduce
the size of the lump,
let alone for it to vanish.
Yeah. So it was not existent anymore.
It was not there.
So what caused the passing?
I'm coming. Anyway, so he asked me if I could convince my wife so that they do what they call a limited incision, because they are taking measurements and know exactly where the lump was. So they want to do a certain kind of incision to remove flesh there. And so I discussed with my late wife, and she said, look, yes, as long as you're okay with it, because we are in this together, let's do it. So we went to Kolebu to do this limited incision. In fact, the day that the doctor did it, that day, nurses were on strike. So I took my wife up to the 6th floor where the theater was, sat in the car for about 5 hours. When she recovered, I went and even the lift operator was not working.
So it was all you?
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal for me at all. I went to bring...
That's what we want to know, Mr. Agyeman. That's the part that impresses all of us, because how long was the process throughout her treatment?
The treatment took about 6 months.
Okay.
And thereafter, every year we had to go for a review, because it was, to all the doctors, it was unusual that size of breast. So
how many years was it before she passed?
10 years.
10 years.
He said from the day that we discovered it, from the time that she was given the all clear, we went for the review for 8 years
continuously.
Every year they give us an appointment for 8, and and as usual, I mean, when we go, I sit in it. We discuss everything. We were friends. That's my style. Complete friends. Nothing hidden.
Sorry to cut you again. Your story is inspiring. So for 10 years, how did you manage it physically, financially, emotionally, especially also with the kids? How old were the kids at the time?
Look, the time that she was diagnosed, the 3 years, 1 year before. So there are no more kids. They're now 26, 28, and 30.
Wow.
I came with one of them, but she's having a meeting online in the car. So this last, she was hale and hearty. I mean, she was completely
okay.
But you see, like I said, words are codes. So sometimes I worry about the way young people talk to, even adults. They forget that what you say, the Bible says you will account for every word. I'm not saying it all. The good book says so. But you see, we talk sometimes anyhow. And the last day we went to Kolebu, that's the 8th visit. As I said, the days we were going there were more than 4 doctors, various specialists. They come in, they look after all the women, but they took special interest in hers. And for about 3 or so years that we had gone for a review, there's one doctor who wasn't there. I don't know where. I think maybe she had traveled or something. Now, this 8th visit, I'm telling you, my late wife, she was quite striking, We had come from the surgery block, and we met him just outside the lift. I didn't even take notice of him. There were people moving up and down. So he turned around and said, "Is that you, Mrs. Agyeman?" And my wife said, "Yes." I said, "I thought you were dead."
Wow.
A doctor who we know to be one of them looking after her. And that statement, my wife nearly killed over. I had to hold her and try to comfort her. I tell her I didn't hear it. She mustn't take it. And for about 5 minutes, we stood there.
Holding
There was
each
a
other.
small dwarf wall there. We sat down it, and I tried to comfort her. And I'm telling you, much as she said okay, she didn't let it go.
Indeed.
In fact, she decided that she would never go to Kolebu again.
Again, because of those words,
He says, if the people who are looking after me
would think that
that
I should be dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, yes, they've made their notes, all the doctors. Some gave it 6 months, some gave it 4 months, you know. So, and I begged her that, look, we should at least go for the review. The ninth one, she didn't. She said
Didn't want to do it. Mr. Agyeman, for the sake of our time, we have such limited time. So, for the sake of our time, what are the lessons you've drawn for this? What are the things you'd like a lot of men out there to know when it comes to supporting people with such ailments?
Before I touch that, society must give men a chance, even if you're not so good. I'm talking about husbands, to review their minds, to renew their minds, because everybody thinks men are this and men are that, you know. But yes, we are all angels, but there could be good ones amongst us who can set good examples. Because if I decide that of all the women in the world, you are the one I am spending the rest of my life with, it must be a full-time commitment.
Must be so.
You see, so what I'll say to the men is that, look, some people, I hear some abandon their wives when they have any such terminal thing. What's the point? You may have or may not have children with her. Yours is to give her, I gave her encouragement. Oh yes, you know, there's not one time that, you know, and you see, when it gets to that point, you, the closest associate, the husband, you become her mirror. She looks at you, and she didn't know that I was watching her. She looks at you to see how you are taking the news, how then she sees that if she's doing well or not. I'm telling you, for a good 6-7 years, she was hale and hearty, you know, as if nothing had happened.
Until that moment.
You know?
Oof.
So men must be given the chance, and also the women, they should not. Some are here, I've done a lot of research. They take the matter to their mother. You know, your mother is not a doctor. Your husband, the one that you wake up with, and you know, as Antifosi, who sorry in that cranda, you know, share the problem so that you fight it together. Financially, it's not easy. In fact, at one point, I was going to put our house on the market when I wanted to take her to South Africa, because someone had told me the South Africans, in fact, the limited decision they did, you know, I took a portion to take to South Africa to do a test, and the report that came was this thick, you know.
Your story is very touching,
So,
Mr. Agyeman, and we truly appreciate, especially sharing it with us. We truly appreciate. We will make time to get more details on this, but we've taken the lesson, which is you're telling a lot of men to be very supportive, to be very committed to their partners when they find such conditions in them, and I'm sure vice versa as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Agyeman.
Thanks for having me, you know, because I'm glad that at least I've shared my experience, that, you know, so that all of us will learn from it, you know. And fortunately, the Lord has given me another wife. 3 years ago.
Remarried.
Remarried.
3 years ago. Congratulations.
Yes, you know.
Amazing.
She's the one I said that. She said Anita is her favorite.
Yes,
presenter,
yes.
you know.
Then Anita is not around. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you too.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you for having me.